The apocalypse.
Hey guys, welcome to another Blacklight Pop Art zombie look. I may have already done one of these, but they are just way too much fun not to do another one. Also, this is unfortunately my last tutorial of 2018. I know, I'm sad, but that means that Halloween is almost here, and I'm excited. So anyway, if you want to see how to create this look, keep watching and enjoy. Starting off with tracing where the skull ends and the brains begin. I'm just using an eyeliner pen and roughly adding the outline and then continuing where the teeth are, where the missing flesh spots are, and the eyes.
Only a few will survive. The world as we know it will no longer be there.
I'm then filling in the skin with Cryolon's UV Aqua color palette. This is a greeny yellow color, not the lime green color. I'm using a brush at first to roughly cover over the spots that should be yellow. This will be extremely patchy. Even if it looks okay in daylight, blacklight is going to pick up all of the brush strokes. Keep going over it until it starts to become more solid. Also, don't worry if you go over the black lines. You can always remove or color over afterwards. When using a sponge, it's going to get covered even more. With a beauty blender, I'm going over it again to smooth out all the brush strokes. It's best to keep checking this under blacklight to see if you're missing some patches. Also, avoid touching things while you have blacklight paints on your hand, otherwise you're gonna get it everywhere and everyone will know where you've been. For the mouth, add the teeth first. I almost covered the whole mouth section before realizing that teeth exist. I'm just using the same liner to outline where the teeth will be. With a mixture of the yellow we're using on the face and orange, I'm coloring in the teeth. Just make sure it's a different color than the skin, otherwise it'll just blend in. Okay, now it's time to add that teal. This is just a mixture of the blue and green from the Krylon palette. I'm using a bigger brush to do the main sections, and then went in with a smaller brush to clean up the edges and get on those small cracks.
The heat is scorching.
I brought that teal up towards the eye and covered the under eye. Now, I don't know if these are eye safe, so I didn't go too close. You can, but don't sue me if you go blind. Now on to the other teal spots. For the one on the jawline, I'm once again filling it in with the bigger brush and then going in and adding details with the smaller brush. I'm adding a bit of a rougher edge to it as well. I do the same with the other patches around the face too.
Yourself. The apocalypse.
Now it's time for the brains! Or at least the hot pink paint for the brains. I'm still using the same Krylon palette for this. I'm also using that for the lips as well. I'm using the black eyeliner pen to draw out the brain squiggles now. I found it best to look at a reference picture of a cartoon brain instead of trying to freehand a random brain. I attempted this already, and instead of a brain, it kind of just looked like squiggles. More so than it does now. What's a zombie without teal brain goo? I'm adding it dripping from the cracks in the head. Back to the teeth now that they're all dried. I outlined them and then added details and made them a little bit more zombie-ish. Now don't worry about these looking like perfect teeth. You're a zombie. If someone points out that one tooth is bigger than the other, not the fact that your brain is spilling out, maybe distance yourself from them. And then outlining the mouth and adding more of those grungy lines around it. For the nose, I'm using Mayron's black face paint and coloring it in. Back with that black liner, I'm adding sketch lines around the mouth. And then extending the black outline to the eye and re-adding those eye bag lines. I'm continuing the line around the mouth and to the lips. Now onto the patches on the face. Same idea, just outlining and then shading it with lines. Nothing is shaded in this look, it's just sort of cross-hatching without crossing the lines. Here's where I kind of go all over the place, adding random shading and lines. I did some here and a few off camera because apparently I don't know when to stop adding random lines.
The heat is scorching. Forests burned up. The sky colors red.
I also filled in my eyebrows with the black liner. With Kat Von D's basket case liner, I'm covering the lid in black. I'm also adding some under the eye as well as in the waterline. Very carefully add Sugar Pill's Bulletproof to the lid. I tilted my head down completely to avoid it falling onto my cheeks. Now with the same eyeliner pen, I'm adding more of those sketch lines to extend the black out without adding any shadow. If you're terrible at blending, this may be the look for you. I slapped on a messy wig, because let's face it, what zombie is going to have neat hair? And then added all kinds of shading to that brain. And that's it. You're done.
Prepare yourself for the apocalypse.